All right. Let's just see if this is even. Let's just see if this is even working. You know, good morning to you and welcome. Let's see if I.
Let's just see if this is even.
There we go. That is exactly what I was thinking might happen. Check that out. I think that streaming. Anyway, so good morning, everybody. I hope you're all doing just absolutely fine. What a absolutely wild time we live in, especially because let me show you something here. So as we look at the market here and we see the S&P 500, as we look at this, the drop and the crash, so to speak, has been actually reasonably it has been reasonably tame and reasonably organized, which is just like absolutely bizarre. Which just so it never really crashed. It makes me wonder if some of the guys like that I'm a big fan of, like Mark Spitznagel and the Universal Investments and the Black Swan guys, it makes me wonder if those guys got enough of a crash to make money from the drop. That's been on my mind because they need a pretty significant drop. And the crash so far, or the I'm calling it the big dip. So the big dip is it time to buy. Time to say anyway, time to say goodbye. Thanks, Andrea Bocelli, for being here. But it makes me wonder if the crash has been significant enough for them to even make any money. So if you look at the S&P 500 here, it's been a pretty orderly drop, and there's a missed monthly pivot down at 387, and I'm wondering if we got there. Yeah, we just about got there. Just about got there. Okay, let's take a look at some stuff that's moving. ALNA, that's going to be a pick of the day. That's going to be a buy in about 2 seconds here. Here are some issues with it. Number one, it's worth 17 cents. So it's kind of penny-ish. Number two, it's got a float of 83 million, which is, kind of ghetto, but whatever. So that's a lot of floats. That's a lot of floating. And however, it is breaking through the pre-market high on pretty strong volume here, and millions of shares have traded so far today already. So if it breaks above 18.5, I think that I would be ready. Oh, I'm going to turn on the other recording device. Let's loom it up, baby. We don't need two cameras in the bottom of the screen. Okay, here we go. So I'll get this recorded a couple of different ways. Okay, let's do a Fibonacci. There you go. 19 cents, 19.8 cents, 21.4 cents, 23 cents. I'm going to go ahead and call this one in the old hot sheet. Little pick of the day. So there we go. It's going to be Alma. I like a buy trade on Alma. Sorry for the typing. I know some of you just hate me for this. Above, let's see, 18.7 targets, 21, and I guess we could go all the way up to 23.3. Extra decimal place intended. Okay, there it goes. It's already going. I think some of you are just like all over it. Remember, all trading involves a substantial risk of loss. Past performance is not necessarily indicative of future results. I'm just sitting here analyzing the market. It's not personalized financial advice in any way, and it's not a solicitation to buy or sell any financial instrument. And I don't want you to buy anything. You don't have to buy anything. It's free. So nothing to buy. This is just purely informational for awesome people like you. All right, so Alma is moving, and I like it. I like it. Got some comments here even. All right, some of you I think are watching on Flakebook. Are some of you watching even on Facebook? I haven't been live on Facebook in a while, but anyway, so Alna's looking pretty interesting. I think it'll get up to 19.8. Let's go to, in the meantime, we got to set an alarm here because that will make it go up. So check that one out. Some of you have never traded pre-market before. So you can trade the stock market before the market opens. I can close my UVXY position, which is what I want to do. So I have in my Tastyworks account, I do have the UVXY open. I bought it yesterday just as kind of a hedge against insanity. And it just looks like it did its job. And I can always get back in again. Okay, so I made 18 cents per share on that. I guess, do I have to prove that? Ugh, every single time you say anything these days, you want to make sure, like you're not. So this is my little black swan ball portfolio, and there's a bunch of negatives in here, but that's the way it works. And activity and filled. So I bought it yesterday at $18.60 and sold it just now for $18.79. Okay. It's not the most important thing. We don't need to sit here and just look at this. We need to look at Alna because it might continue and it might actually get crushed. Mito, I had high hopes for Mito, but it's not rewarding me. I kind of am ready to make a dip buy on Apple. We'll take a look at that in un momento. AFI I thought might be interesting. It is retesting the VWAP. Hey everybody, for those of you joining on the Twitter, I forgot I might even be live on Twitter. It's possible. If I am live on Twitter, just send me an @ and let me know. And then CGEM, this looks nicey. Oh yeah, CGEM. Cullinan Oncology. I bet you they got some good news. Let's just look at CGEM. There's my buddy, Fausto. Love that guy. To sell unit, certain rights to lung cancer program to Japan's Taiho. I was just thinking about Japan this morning. So they've got, they're selling off a little asset situation. 23 million share float. It is kind of moving a little bit. Let's check and see what everybody's up to. Okay, Michael says, any idea where Alna will peak? Okay, yeah, I don't know. We're going to find out where Alna will peak. We're going to find out. I think 19, 21, 23, those are all interesting levels. Apple, AFI, CGEM. So CGEM is moving. Where might that peak? That's another question we want to ask. So before the market opens, you can press time of day on your order and choose EXT for extended hours on most platforms. You're going to get a market fill. I'll even show you on Tastyworks what it looks like. So if I wanted to trade CGEM, so I can click here and I click stock. And let's say it says quantity 100. I would click extended hours. Sorry, I'm not pronouncing the H. That's what I would click. And then I would review and send it. And then that bad boy would go straight into the hopper. It would go straight in on it. I mean, you could take it. I mean, that's not... I love this smiley sunrise pattern here. I love it. It brings me great joy and happiness. Anyway, let's see what the comments on here. How are you doing, Ron? What's your take on Bitcoin? Oh, let's take a look at Bitcoin. Yeah. Alstar's on Facebook, and some of you are on YouTube. This is just glorious. Yeah, Bitcoin's a big one to take a look at as well. By the way, for those of you that also trade the currency market with me, dollar Canadian and dollar Swiss. Oh, I am ready here. I'm actually going to take this. I don't know if you can see the screen because I didn't share the whole thing. I just didn't want my notifications popping up. But I can stop sharing my screen and then reshare it. So why don't we just do that? We should let you see this. So we'll stop sharing the screen and then share entire screen. I might turn this back off because it does that weird window thing. I just don't like that. All right. I am selling dollar Canadian. Sure, it's fine. Ugh, requotes. Okay, let's just, there we go. Now I have a new average price. I'm going to delete that order. My average price is only 35 pips away. And so now we're going to stop sharing the screen and then share just a part of, there we go. And then we're just going to like put a little alert here, see if this drops. Okay, then we can get to Bitcoin. So the currency markets are just as interesting as the cryptocurrency markets. Most people just don't pay attention. All right, for those of you interested in Bitcoin, I wonder if I can. No, I'll just drop these down a little bit so we get more screen real estate on the chart. Does that help you? All right, we dropped and hit the January 2021 monthly pivot, which was missed a long time ago. And that is a really great support level. It's no surprise that we're bouncing from here. Not a surprise. The problem is that we have the 200-day simple moving average down at 21,000. I'm just going to go ahead and say it again. I think that's where we're headed. And so, I mean, it's probably a good day for a bounce today, but in general, not bullish right now on Bitcoin. We'll talk more about that in Luna and a bunch of other ones in just a minute. But CGEM is breaking through, probably going to hit $9.90, and then probably going to hit $10.28. The volume is the highest it's been all morning. This is not a trade recommendation. And, just trade at your own risk. And it's just here for informational purposes, but, it's pretty awesome information. Hopefully you can see everything all right. Yeah, look, that's showing up pretty nicely. It's good to see you. It's good to see you all. So 990 getting hit. I don't know how you doing. How you doing? I like it. You're like you're gonna like the way you look. I guarantee it. Apple. Yeah, I like a bounce today. I like it. I think we're due for a little bit of a bounce today. It's why I sold my UVXY shares. I don't need them right now. I could come back and get those later. The Qs love the idea of a bounce here. I love the idea of a bounce on semiconductors today as well. Doesn't mean it'll happen, but every bear market has a really nice snapback, and it doesn't mean you should trade it. There's a lot of wisdom in the old phrase, don't buy falling stocks. But 992 hit on CGEM, and then maybe 1028 is next for those of you that care. But I would like to take a minute and take a look at some of the crypto situations. So Luna's down. It's so far down. I want to find something. I want to just see if I can even get, you can't even find a chart that's even, it's just hard to even see it. So a lot of the platforms have restricted trading on it, and you can see now the volume's just dried up completely. Nobody cares anymore, relatively speaking. There is finally going to be some buy volume here. You have to. So this is purely speculative, and once again, this is not trading advice, and I'm not recommending that you buy or sell any financial instrument. But I want to do some analysis here. The upside analysis here is that it fell from $100 down to 2 pennies, and at some point you get a bounce here and there. You get a bounce from $1.06 to $1.50, and we haven't had a bounce in a bit. And so I think, cryptos can fall under a penny also. Don't forget that. And so there's no reason why this can't just keep going. But, they can bounce. The problem is it's never going back to it's never going back to $90 or $70 or $10. It's probably never going back to any of those levels. And this isn't Hertz, right? It's not like a car company that can get an injection of capital and then goes back to making something. None of these make anything. And as disappointing as it is, it's just just real. Now, Terra, or whatever this is, the UST, which lost its peg, this is floating around 60 to 70 cents. The sad thing is, this may never get back to $1 either. And it's just pure speculation. It is like trade in that sense. It is like trading Hertz back when Hertz was bankrupt, and a lot of people acted and felt like geniuses when they did that. But there was just as much of a likelihood that Hertz was going to go to zero as anything else. I mean, if you are interested in the coins, if you are interested in trading the crypto, you can stick to some of the main ones because they're pretty much on sale right now. If you want. I just, I own some Bitcoin, and every 10 grand it falls or so, I'm going to buy a little bit. And then when it gets back above 69 or 70,000 finally, maybe then just pile in. But until then, just kind of hang out over here on the sidelines and not worry so much about it. If Ether falls, well, I guess it did fall below 2. Look at that. So I was actually going to issue an NFT. I was going to mint one, like 25 of them, if it fell below 2,000, and do a really, 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 really cheap NFT, like something that was like $100 just to try it out. I don't know if anybody cares about that, but that would be a neat NFT. And I don't know, listen, I don't know what it would include and all that other kind of stuff, but I was just kind of thinking that would be an interesting experiment just to do one and make it real cheap. Some of you, I don't know how many of you can hit me up on Twitter, or you can leave a comment in the chat boxes wherever we're at. Any of you own an NFT? I know some of you probably do, but I wonder if any of you own one. It's always interesting to see. Let's see here. This is actually fun. So Sunrise Live. And this is Sunrise Live. Yeah, I was just like seeing if I could put the link in there. But anyway, if some of you are watching it on YouTube and you're in the Hot Sheet Trade Room, you can post the link there as well. Okay, Thomas got in on CGEM, took some off at 971. And let's go back and take a look at that. So it did jump up to 1014. That didn't get far enough. That double topped kind of body wise on the candle, but I still like it for today. Still like it. It has to go below the VWAP for me to not like it. I didn't buy any of these. I'm not buying them at the same time you are. I'm not trading the same stuff. I'm just watching it together. So I'm not pumping it or anything. I do not own either of these stocks. You can see everything I own right here, short-term wise, is right here. Whoops. There's the portfolio. I have some BBIG, some gold calls, some ITP, RIBT, and VRAR. Those are all kind of swing trades. And then I own some Coinbase, Robinhood, SoFi, PayPal, a few shares of Walmart, and some one share of Google in my Robinhood account. Those are all down, of course, but none of those are trade recommendations, just transparency. So don't expect you to trade anything that we talk about. I do expect you to just pay attention and maybe learn a few things if you can. So before the market opens, there is a volume weighted average price. That's the blue line on my screen. There's volume at the bottom of my screen. You can see the squeeze momentum indicator. And what we look for are stocks that don't have a really large float. So ideally something below 50 million shares on the float. Ideally something below 10 million if we really, really got what we wanted. We'd love to see that. And we want to see those low float stocks moving pre-market. And then once those stocks go above the volume weighted average price, it's kind of especially if it's around 7:30 Central Time, 8:30 Eastern Time, it's really kind of fun to take a look at buying those and then riding those a little bit. And then my preference is to be done with all of the trading before the market officially opens. That's what I like. You can actually search for free on FinViz, but it doesn't do a great job because you don't get live volume stats pre-market unless you are a FinViz Elite member, but it is a neat way to look at it. So stocks under 10 million shares on the float that have a lot of volume this morning are Mito, DB, GI. Let's just look at those. So Mito. So Mito is above the VWAP, and it is trading tons of shares. What did we say? What did we see here? 11 million shares already. It's like, God, I don't know. It doesn't even say how many shares it has on the float. We can check Yahoo and see. And we can also ask the room, does anybody have a number on Mito's float? I'll see if Yahoo has a number here. 27 million is what it says. So you see all these discrepancies. Different platforms will have different numbers for the float. There we go on Mito, just jumping up above the VWAP. The first target in any of these situations is like a previous high this morning. So like this spike up that happened at 8:25 Eastern time. That's at 33 cents. We would think that it would get there first. If it can get above that, we think it might get to like 37. And then if you want to go a little bit further than that, you just jump over here, you fib it up, dude. And then maybe you get after 37, you get to 41 cents. I like this. Oh, it's already one of my stocks of the day. Imagine that. And so that's looking pretty sweet. CGEM, now that if that goes and closes below the volume weighted average price, that's done. My friend Matt and Matt's excellent. Matt's in the Sunrise Club, and he's kind of a moderator, friend, leader, fearless. What other attributes can we apply to Matt? Just all the good ones, all the good attributes. And it kind of printed a double body top right there, which I think Matt and I historically, whenever we've been in the same room trading, we have worried a little bit about that. You know, we really should have a get together. We talked about this before. I think I did a little poll even. Anyway, we really need to get together and trade some of this stuff live and in person. Apple not bouncing. Mito back down to the VWAP, also double body top. That's not good. And then Alna dropping. I would guess one of these three. Sorry for that. I'm not telling you which, but I'm guessing one of those three are going to keep going. Let's rerun the scan on volume and see what's really high. Alna, Mito, TQ. What's SLRX up to? It's below the volume weighted average price, so we don't care about that. Anything else down here? HYMC. No. Okay, ride's moving. Lordstown Motors Club. Ugh. Let's see if this Lordstown Motors. Right. Okay. Oh, Lordstown got bought? What? Oh, factory. Okay. Oh, it's gonna. Foxconn's gonna build it. Well, now I have some confidence in this. Okay, we're gonna accept some cookies. Endurance. I don't know this. Yeah, I don't know. Really? Oh, you can't even pre-order it, can you? No. Guess what I did see, though? Saw Polestar on the road. I've now seen a few of them on the road. And I got to say, it looks better than I thought it would. It's a neat looking vehicle. It really, in person, looked pretty sweet. So anyway, 270-mile range. Exterior. What's the interior like? That's what I wanted to see. All right, so regular stuff, maps, stuff like that. Can't drive itself, so I don't know. Anyway, Lordstown is trading at $1.87, and my feeling is that's $1.87 too expensive for that company. So CGEM is back down below the VWAP, so bye-bye. AFI, Apple, Mito, kind of trying to see. Alma's still my favorite of the day. Didn't go below the VWAP, didn't even get down there, didn't do a double toppy kind of thing. I would guess we're on the way up to 19.8 pennies. That's my guess. All trading involves a substantial risk of loss. Past performance is not necessarily indicative of future results, and this is not a recommendation for you to buy anything. In fact, there's nothing for sale in this little morning pre-market view of the market, okay? Just whatever, just whatevs. If you want to, you can get on this little email list. Let's see what my little smart page is here. Promote it. There you go. sendfox.com/Rob Booker. Yeah, look at that. It's the least interesting landing page of all time. Send out a little daily email. sendfox.com/Rob Booker. They might tell me to stop sending this email. There's nothing for sale in this email ever. It's just trades I take, market reactions, analysis, and stuff, but never anything for sale. So anyway, I think there's probably a couple of you here that don't get that. Recently, we have, taken a look at the market crash, crypto meltdown, the big dip, what I bought in the crash. So there you go. Would love to have you on the list. Get on it. And in the meantime, ALNA, baby, that's just great. Just keep going. That would be nice. Did any of my good friends in the hot sheet trade room buy any of that? Did you get any of that action? Just let me know. And how are y'all doing here? How about Ride? Oh gosh, Dave, wow, we were definitely just talking about Ride. Sweet. Crypto 420 says ETH back to $400. Whoa, that would just be crazy. Runosh, are you still giving away Amazon Echoes? Nope, I'm not. I don't sell anything anymore. So really, just enjoy the ride. Pun intended. Oh, wow. ALNA, just do your thing. This is exactly what we're here to do. This is what we're here for. We're here to see a little stock like this make a little bit of a move pre-market, and then by the time the market opens, we're all done. We're feeling footloose and fancy free, breathing out of at least one of our nostrils. I did not realize until recently that most of you can breathe out of both of your nostrils. Mine just switch off. One works, one doesn't. One works, one doesn't. Does anybody else have that same issue? I didn't realize that was a thing. So I'm going to go get the old nostrils checked out pretty soon here. It's going to be great. And when I'm breathing out of both nostrils, just watch out for me. Just watch out. Thomas has been in since 14 pennies. Kevin's been in since 18 cents. Okay, nice. So Alma is attracting some attention. How are the Qs doing? I think the Qs are going to make a little bit of a bounce today. I do think it. I think I might even, I don't even know if I have any margin with which to do it, but I'm going to buy some, I think I'm going to buy some calls. I'm going to buy some Q calls. Just have them for the day. Maybe. I think there's just one to look at right now, and that's Alna. Let's do a little research on Alna. Why don't we? We got some time to kill. Here we go. Alna. Yahoo Finance. I know I typed it incorrectly, but there we go. Elena Pharmaceuticals. Let's see what the news is. Announces 2.8 million registered direct offering. That's usually bearish. How long ago was that? May 4th. All right. So they already diluted. That's fine. If they already got it done, that's fine. Company outlook. I don't care about any of that stuff. Financials. I wanted to see some news here. Just news. Best way to stop mosquito bites. This is really pointless and worthless. Let's go to Twitter and see what Twitter says about it. All right, so over gap, very technically inclined here. Gap at 30 will never happen, doing great, scale in. So it's just a lot of technical people. Do you see what we're doing pre-market OTC investors? You can do it daily if you all work together pre-market like we do in big boards. This guy is definitely a fake account, or he just doesn't know how to speak English, so that guy can suck it. Number one candidate for a gap. So there's just a lot of technical people on Twitter. I want to see news about it. Yeah. Okay. Still my favorite for the day. Monthly pivot right there at about 1950. Oh, that's why we're getting some pushback on this bad boy. Yep, it's right there. So folks, when you're trading pre-market, and you can see here in orange pre-market price, when it's right at a monthly pivot, it will very often stop. It will just kind of pause there. And it's hard to tell exactly where that is. Let's just zoom in here as close as we can. So it seems like it's at 1927, just like you said, 1950 and whatnot. I didn't mean to repeat the same thing that somebody already told us, but between 1920 and 1950, alongside the rise of fascism, I don't know why I said that, also between 1920 and 1950 in pennies, Alna has found resistance. So my friend Brian Shannon, I love this guy. If you don't follow Alpha Trends on Twitter, you should. He said, don't call it resistance. It isn't resistance. It hasn't bounced yet. You don't know if it's resistance. And I think I do a pretty good job of, if it's on the way to a level, saying it might be resistance, it might get stopped there. But I just always laugh at the way he says that. Anyway, so there we have it. Alna is my pick for the day. Mito might make this doesn't tend to work. So Mito looked good, tried to get and stay above the VWAP, but double body topped. Don't like that. But if it jumps above 34 cents, then I take that back. Apple, if I CGEM's riding the VWAP. I'm not impressed. I'm Shania Twained on that. That don't impress me much. UVXY, this is pure speculation. It would not surprise me to see a drop today in the UVXY, and it would not surprise me today to see a bounce on the Qs. In the midst of market meltdowns, you do get bounces, and it would not surprise me to see people come in on a Thursday and buy, and then on Friday, because they don't want to hold anything over the weekend, just dump everything. But at some point, things just go so far on sale that you can't help yourself but buy things. I mean, that's a possibility. SoFi, just in a spiral. Robinhood, just out of control. PayPal, out of control. Zoom, of course, just lost so much value. Wayfair, which annihilated me in 2020. I think I shorted Wayfair at 165 and 100, 221 and whatnot. And that is probably on the way back down to 20. I would guess that Wayfair is probably in a lot of trouble, more trouble than anybody remembers it being in. It was close to bankruptcy back in January of 2020. Anyway, my favorite for the day, once again, ALNA. I hope that if you get a piece of that, you're just really, 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 really careful about it. Move your stops, keep a stop loss in place. My stop loss would generally go underneath the volume weighted average price. I'm not going to buy the same stock that I'm talking about here. I'm just going to analyze it and just share stuff with you. And if you want to hear more about things, you can go to sendfox.com/robbooker, put your email address in there, and fire it up, baby. And on a pretty much daily basis, you'll get my market thoughts and whatnot. Never sell anything ever on there at all. So if you like what you see, hop on that list, and I'll be sending out an email later today. And if you're in the old hot sheet trade room, let me know how you're doing. Thanks, Matt, for that Alma monthly pivot thing and a big IB sell order there on 19. Blew right through it. So now that's at 20 cents. So there is an order to sell a lot at 20 cents. I still think we're probably, since we're so well above the VWAP and pretty close to the open, this seems like it could be the one that runs today. That could be nice. And once again, I like the idea. I am probably going to buy the monthly Q calls, like 290s. I am probably going to buy those this morning. I have to wait till the market opens to buy the options. I'm just going to buy one contract, so I'm not going to do anything, just absolutely wild. But it seems like a nice day for a bounce. And we'll see if it moves too quickly at the open, then I won't get a chance to do that either. So once again, S&P right at the VWAP, so that's kind of found a place that it has temporarily stopped. And the IWM, yeah, I think all signs, they all look very similar, but the Qs are my favorite. And I like the thought of a bounce on tech stocks that have just been annihilated. But I got to wait 10 more minutes before I can take that trade. For those of you that hung out and watched today on Facebook, say hello. For those of you that watched on YouTube, thanks for being here. And for those of you on Twitter, wow, I'm kind of loving Twitter lately. I don't even know if that's working. And then for those of you on Telegram that are a member of the Hot Sheet Trade Room, nice to have you here. Love you all. I will see you again tomorrow morning. Bye for now, everybody.